welcome back to the Squirrel Head YouTube channel. This is going to be the preview ahead of Liverpool versus Roma. I'm going to talk a little bit about West Brom as well, and why I think that can fuel us to a positive result against Roma. But let's talk about that straight away. Actually, let's get that one out of the way. We were looking really good. We were looking very, very good. 2-0 up, about 70 minutes in. We were looking good, and we switched off. I think what it proves is, at the moment, I was looking at a lot of social media, a lot of Twitter, and it is quite astounding how reactive and how badly reactive some of the Liverpool fan base can be to a draw. And I don't think we should have drawn that game. We should have won it. We should have won it 2-0. That's how it should have been, but we didn't. But we didn't lose the game either. And alright, it doesn't. It looks like we're maybe slipping up a little bit here and there, but it's one of those things. I think at the moment there was only one of our starting 11 in the back four, being Virgil van Dijk. Lovren came on later on. I can't remember who came on for. Might have been Danny Ings. I'm not sure. Can't remember. So that wasn't a positive. Lovren coming on later on. I don't know. I think Klavan, I loved Klavan at the start of the season when Lovren wasn't doing very well, and we only had Matip as well. Klavan was doing okay, and he does do okay sometimes here and there, but you can kind of see how uncomfortable Virgil van Dijk is next to someone like Klavan, because he's not confident in Klavan, which then, if that makes Van Dijk, in my opinion, not confident, because he's having to sort of not just worry about his own job, he's having to worry about, well, what's Klavan going to be doing, what is he doing, and trying to make sure that he's covering there. That's my opinion. I might be wrong in that one. Gomez, look, he's just come back from an injury and didn't look great. Let's be honest. I think we've gotten used to how Trent Alexander-Arnold gets up and down that wing, but is also very good defensively of late. We got used to that. And Joe Gomez doesn't do that, and that's not what we should be expecting of him. Joe Gomez is much more of a defensive fullback, if anything, and I firmly believe that from next year onwards, Joe Gomez will function as a centre-back, because that's what I think he's built towards. And Alberto Moreno, he's had a good season, obviously, before his injury and stuff like that with us. He was looking like our first choice left-back before Andrew Robertson decided to turn up and be absolutely amazing like he has been. And again, I think that's a case there where we've gotten used to Andrew Robertson being at left-back, being defensively sound but good going forward as well. And Alberto Moreno coming in from the fringes for what seems like an absolute age. And he just had one of those days where, again, he was okay for 70 minutes, but then when they got their goal, that first goal, you kind of felt this is going to be 2-2. This is definitely going to be a 2-2, if not worse. And it could have been worse, let's be honest. But it finished 2-2. Mohamed Salah gets his 41st goal of the season, ties himself with Cristiano Ronaldo, Alan Shearer, and Luis Suarez for 31 goals in the Premier League in a season. And he's won the PFA Player of the Year. What a player that man is. He's absolutely fantastic, but it's also proof that the guy can't do it all on his own. He does a hell of a lot on his own, but he can't do it all. Okay, we should have walked out of that. We shouldn't also be having to go into games thinking we've got to score 3 to win. And that's what we would have done. To win that game 3-2, we would have had to have scored 3. So, I mean, it's disappointing to draw that game, but we have to move on now. And we move on to Roma. And while people might think we haven't had them perfect, I don't want to say warm-up, because it's not a warm-up, it's the Premier League, it's not just a throwaway game. But I'm going to use the word of warm-up against West Brom. We've drawn 2-2. Roma, on the other hand, in their Serie A game, can't remember who they played, SPAL or something. I cannot remember the name exactly, or how you say it or whatever. They beat them 3-0. And I think they rested players like Edin Dzeko. So they've rested players ahead of Tuesday, tomorrow night. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works in their favour, if it works in our favour, because we started Mane and Salah. We didn't start Firmino. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works, and whether that works into Klopp's hands. Whether keeping some of our first team regulars in the starting 11, did that work? Is it going to work? Is it going to keep them fresh and ready for action? Hopefully, because let's make no mistake, I'm still seeing a lot of people, and rival fans as well, stoking the fires that Liverpool should be going through into the finals from the first leg onwards. We should be making it through to the finals. We should be pasting Roma. I have never said that. I know I've never said that, and I never think that about any opponent. I really, really don't. There's no opponent that I would disrespect. Alright, I might predict 3-0 wins here and there because I think that's what we can do. But make no mistake, Roma got to the semi-finals probably through the hardest way, and I still feel that on paper we drew the most informed team in Europe, maybe aside from Barcelona, who are unbeaten in La Liga still. And I think they've just got the Copa del Rey as well, or something like that. I can't remember over the weekend, but still, at that point, Barcelona looked like the team that was going to be the one that go all the way, go to the final, and Roma absolutely flipped the script and beat them. Well, no, they drew overall on both legs, but they had an away goal, puts them through, and they got through to the semi-finals. They did a monumental task of getting through to this point, and there's no saying that they can't do that again. Now, we have to take advantage of the fact that our home form is very, very good generally. Very, very good. And we have to use that in this game. We play at home first. First off, we can't allow them to get an away goal. And if we do, we have to limit the amount that they get and score as many as we can. That's what we have to do. We've also got to take heart in the fact that we will be most likely starting all of our starting 11, the likes of Lovren, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Those guys should be coming in, and that back four should be much more solid than it was against West Brom. The other thing about the West Brom game is sometimes having a game like that gives you a wake-up call, because maybe they were getting a bit too complacent. Maybe they thought that it was all over, it was wrapped up, done and dusted, and it was done. Maybe it gives them a wake-up call that it is never done, and that could be absolutely vital in this game, that we just have to keep going no matter what. Keep attacking, keep defending, keep creating. That's what we have to do, and we have to do that massively. And I expect to see Henderson, Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield. You might question it, but you can't question the fact that Milner right now I think has the most assists in the Champions League. That guy is vital, and I want him in there. Henderson is going to show grit, determination, everything that we need, and he should be able to control the midfield a little bit. And we're going to come up against a tough midfield, a very tough midfield. One of the players in name only that I know is Nainggolan, and mostly I know him from FIFA, and he's an absolute beast, but it turns out he's actually quite a beast in real life as well. They have got a very difficult team with different threats to us. Most notably, we've got to look at West Brom here, set pieces and aerial balls. Edin Dzeko, he's going to be very tough to deal with. Very, very tough to deal with. But I still think that we can get something from this game. We have to go and play our game and play it as best as possible. That's what we have to do. Obviously, I think the front three will be, Mane, Firmino and Salah. I think that's going to speak for itself. They're saying that they're going to set up some pretty special tactics or something like that to stop Mohamed Salah being as prolific as he has been. But I think that we can do this. But make no mistake, I don't think this is going to be like when we had Man City at home. I think this is going to be much tighter, and if I'm being honest, I'm going to go score prediction. I think it's going to be 2-1 Liverpool, and it's going to be all about the second leg. I think it's going to be really, really tight. I think this is going to be one of our toughest matches this season. Never mind one of our most important. 2-1 is what I'm going for. Full strength 11, but let me know what your predictions are as well. I will try and get videos out, but do appreciate that obviously we've got stuff going on. I might not be able to get reaction videos out and stuff when, straight after games, or if at all. So I will try and get them out and stuff like that, but I am nervous much more about this game than any other game, and I'm cautious because I don't think that we're going to win this one easy, and there is a chance that we might not win it. I'm just going to go on record and say that there's a chance that we might not go on and win this game. It's going to be nervous, and it's going to be tension building for me. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Get your thoughts in there, and I'd love to hear from you. Let me know anything that you think, starting 11, predictions, scorers, whoever. Let me know it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you later.